Bow your head. Almighty Father in heaven, we're so grateful to come before you tonight to be able to do the business of the citizens of Wells County. We ask you watch over us as we make our decisions. We also ask that you watch over those that protect those liberties that we're able to meet and do the work that we are tonight. From our Army and military that are serving overseas to our fire, EMS, sheriff, all those people, again, that work hard to protect us so that we can exercise this right. We say these things in Jesus' name, amen. All right, the first order of business is to approve the minutes from our regular session on July 7th and the executive session on July 28th. When Lisa sent them out, I didn't see any changes. So if everybody is good, do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Todd. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Steve. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. The jail bond. So we have a $1,500 additional request from the auditor for bondry services for consulting. We do this every year, correct, Lisa?
Pays for reporting, annual reporting on the jail.
On the jail bond? Okay. Seems straightforward. If there are no questions, do I have a motion to approve the $1,500 jail appropriation?
I'll second.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Jenny, if you want to come on up for CASA? Good evening.
How are you? So we got a third round grant from our state CASA office. Whatever leftover funds, they divide them according to the size of the counties and how many cases each county has. So we got $2,011 for third round grant. That does not have to be matched by the county. I put it in our training line item. The the state CASA conference will be at the Grand Wayne Center in Fort Wayne on September 26th this year. So with this money, we'll be able to pay for our volunteers to go so they don't have to pay out of their own pocket since they're volunteering anyway. And we even would have enough money then to pay mileage for them. So that's what I would like to do with this money. So that's my whole story. And I'm sticking to
Now,
it.
Jenny, when you said that this is the amount of grant appropriated to Wells County, every county was eligible for, did we get our, were you saying we got our appropriate amount compared to other counties? Were we more or less out of curiosity?
Well, you know what? We were probably a little bit on the high side for counties
Okay.
our size.
Good.
Obviously, Allen County gets quite a bit more because of the size and the number of cases they have. Because our cases we had a lot of CHINS cases in 2024, and that's what our 2026 money is based off of. So we were a little on the high side. Now, I've spoken with the judge about this already. In 2027, we might be a little bit on the lower side, but that's okay. It all is based on a formula depending on the number of kids we're serving.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Hey, Jenny, about how many volunteers do you have?
Well, unfortunately, I just went ahead, one of my good ones resigned for health reasons. Tom Gibson just resigned as a CASA. I know, I hate to lose him, and we especially need men. But currently, then, that leaves us with 17 plus me, so we have 18. I would say 4 of us have more than one case. The goal is for each volunteer to have 1 case, because it can be a lot, you know what I mean? It's their volunteer time. We've got volunteers that work full-time still, and volunteers that are working part-time, and then we've got some fully retired volunteers. So, yeah.
It's great work that you do. Any other questions for Jenny? If not, do I have a motion to approve the $2,011 additional?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Todd. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Brian. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
And thank you for always supporting CASA.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Jenny.
All right, next we have a transfer with the general fund. Beth, if you want to come up for the county election board.
Yeah, I'm requesting this transfer because when we did the budget last year, we tried to put everything in one line item instead of paying after 3 different appropriations to pay for the poll worker, then pay for their training, then pay for their meals. So we tried to put it all to one, which that's what we budgeted. But then the State Board of Accounts says, well, we can't put meal reimbursement in with salary because that's actually not taxable because that's reimbursement. So I'm requesting a transfer now to take it out and put it into the meal reimbursement line item so I can pay meal reimbursement. And we did that for just the election day workers, not for early voting.
Straightforward. There are no other questions for Beth. Do I have a motion to approve the $1,800 transfer?
So moved.
Thank you, Brandon. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you, Steve. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Beth. All right. Looks like we got a couple, or the rest of them are highway garage related. Good evening.
First one I have is in our 1169 budget. We would like to move funds from the highway equipment into stone, sand, and salt, building property maintenance, trucks and tractors, which is where we purchase parts for equipment, and then hardware and tools. Total, I should have wrote this down. We are looking at altogether
Like about 33,000.
yeah. In the 1169, and then on the second page, we're looking at moving money around in our 1176 items. The hot mix, our hot mix budget, we're using to, this year, we'll be resurfacing, or repaving the small town of Liberty Center. And then we have a couple patches we're gonna do, and then, so the remainder of that funds, after we got the bids back, along with $100 in the telephone line item, down to off-road equipment, which is where we also buy parts and oil and that for our, the graders, the excavator, and then the conference and association fees. One of our, I think it's supervisors and engineers for the state went up from last year, so there was a shortfall in how that was budgeted.
Any questions? All right, I'll go ahead and, I don't have a problem combining them. If we could have a motion to approve the transfer from the 1169 account for 33,850 to the mentioned line items, then also from the 1176 account to the mentioned items. Do I have a motion to approve those transfers?
So moved.
Thank you, Brian. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Brian. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
So the next one we have is to every year, we have to review the estimated property tax levy limits and circuit breakers for each taxing unit. Those are attached in your agenda items that you have.
I totaled them all up front, so you can see what they are total.
Okay.
And also, you have to make a recommendation, if you want to make a recommendation for changes, or if you want to make no changes, we need to make note of that and make a motion. You've never made any changes.
I was gonna say, I don't think we've ever made any changes, so.
And that 24,772 one's,
24 million.
or 24 million.
Yeah, I said 24,000, I was looking for-
772,163. Yeah, okay. That help me out again, just refresh my memory on
That's the levy for the whole entire.
the levy,
list.
okay. Everybody combined?
Yes.
Okay,
All taxing units.
gotcha.
And 1.7 million are credits. That will be lost.
And that doesn't have schools in it, right? There's,
It does have schools in it, Norwell.
oh, okay, now I see it at the bottom.
Yeah, they're down at the bottom, along with the library. Since we have never made any changes, I guess my recommendation would leave it as no changes, unless anybody has any reason to make some changes to it.
What type, and I apologize for this question, Seth, but what type of change would we make? It would have to be a pretty substantial change to
It, yeah, since we've never made one, I'm not even sure how we would go about doing it.
Because it'd be, these
Yeah.
are their budgets.
Yeah, it's within their budgets, so, yeah,
Interesting question.
yeah.
and I'm okay with the response.
Well, I have a stupid question too, if we're asking stupid questions. Did you say your question was stupid? I don't mean to say that.
Say my question.
I might have heard that. Pardon. Bluffton City Fire, is that the budget for the fire territories? And then,
Are you talking about the levy?
well, yeah, I spoke too broadly. That's the levy for the fire territory, okay? And that's Bluffton City, that's the levy for the city government of Bluffton, okay.
So in a territory, they have to separate it out, right? Because that's involved. Yeah, levy.
Yeah, because if you look, Jefferson's got their own, and so, or I'm sorry, Lancaster and Harrison both have their, yeah.
Their portion of it then, so.
If there are no other questions, do I have a motion to approve with no changes?
I'll make that motion, Seth.
Thank you, Scott. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Brandon. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Quarterly innkeepers, tax update. Audrey was the sole employee, and she had her second baby and decided that she was not going to move forward, so they're in the process of hiring. But Scott, did you want to give a quick update on behalf, being our representative on that board?
Yes, Seth, thank you very much. There's a Excel spreadsheet here real quick. If you look at this, at the July level across 4 or 5 columns, you'll see the number 15%. That's what we're tracking ahead of 2025 in revenues for the innkeeper's tax. This is our 4th year of doing this, and we're starting to get a little bit better feel of what is causing those changes. And we believe the Bluffton Parks Department is also on the Visitors Commission. And their feeling is that the workers here in February, March, and April on the pool is what boosted our revenue 15%. And it matches the footprint of the revenue just right. Now, we don't get a lot of money, roughly $80,000 a year, so any change like that where there's an influx of people that for whatever reason would need a room for a month is going to impact us to that degree.
Yeah, it's nice.
So, yep. And unless there's any questions, that's all I have.
Yeah. And and you are working on filling
Yes.
that position with
Yes.
economic development. We
The
have
board will
there's a
make,
plan.
the Visitors Commission will make a decision on that on Wednesday, August the 12th, how we will move forward with that.
Okay. Yep. Thank you, Scott. Mike, if you want to come on up. And just before Mike gets started, just so everybody's aware how the process does work for 911, there are a number of units that have to vote on this. So I think, did the commissioners vote last night?
They did, yes.
Okay, so the commissioners vote, we vote for it, and then the city of Bluffton does. That's kind of the chain of how this works for 911, so,
For the proposed budget?
yes. Yep. So, Mike, if you want to go ahead and get started?
I feel, I did this last night. I feel like I need to change it up or do something entertaining because I go over this, I don't know how many times. So like I told the commissioners last night, at the beginning of June, I met with the 911 board's budget committee and presented this budget to them. And at that point, they all felt that it was fine, so we agreed for me to take it to the 911 board at the end of July. And I told the commissioners last night there was a slight modification to what I presented to the committee. One of those being the copier services down towards the bottom. For whatever reason, forever, the police department always paid for the printer and copier that was in the dispatch center. I suppose it's because at one point in time, dispatch was under the police department. And we're trying to, separate things and get a good account of what department is spending what. So the chief asked me if I would be willing to take that over for 2027, which is fine. It's $1,200. And then the other issue that I had, I forgot to put my pay in the salary. So that,
Kind of a big deal.
A little bit.
Yeah.
My wife would be upset. So outside of that, nothing really changed. And honestly, it's like Commissioner Gerber pointed out last night, the only lines in this that are different from last year are the top 5, which basically deal with pay, overtime, that kind of stuff. All of the other stuff, just the discretionary spending things, I have kept them the same. And my goal is to try to do that every year until I get to the point where I can't. I'm trying to get it as close to I can.
And we did have one more employee from the 911 fund, so that's part of the increase as well, correct?
Yeah. And we did, as we did last year, we only budgeted for what we currently have hired, but I do have 2 applicants that we're going to be interviewing. I have 2 openings. So there's a possibility before the end of the year, I might have 2 new dispatchers.
Is your fully staffed 15? 15? Okay, so you're at 13 now.
13.
A little better than when we started.
Yeah, we had the one year, we were down to 5.
5, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Can I ask Mike?
Yeah.
As far as where it says activity, that's your actual cost here on your budget sheet, I assume? Is what, like?
Where am I?
Where it shows like 2024 activity, but that was your actual,
that was what
Spending.
we spent, yeah.
okay, I assumed that's what it was.
Yeah. So I don't know how much you guys want me to go over this, if you've had time to look at it, if you have questions. Try to make this process as easy as possible.
It's pretty straightforward. I'll make a motion to pass this.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Just so this board knows, the other thing that we did at the 911 meeting is that we did officially add EMA as a board seat on the 911 board. It felt like now that EMA is going in a more robust direction, it made sense to have John on that board because he does coordinate a lot of activities with all the individuals. So, not that it may matter to anybody here, but it was, he was added, so.
Good.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate your guys' support.
Yep.
To our department, thank you.
Use of the lit ordinance review? Is that the,
Yes,
I was gonna talk about?
yes.
Okay. So with right now, we have credits that go each year into the EMS fund, with the idea being that by the end of the year, there could be some changes with EMS going on. Right now, we have 1.4 million in that fund, and it has to be used for EMS. So not sure it's prudent to continue to add a bunch of money into a fund that we may not be using the funds out of it, maybe beyond this year. It's good to still have some money in that in case if we do sign a contract with somebody for outsourcing of EMS, if that contract in 4 years goes the other way, we at least have a pot of money. If we have to start it back up, we do. But I'm not sure we want that growing by, 500,000 to 800,000 a year, whatever that
It's 1.3 million.
per year. So the idea would be, we have to advertise it, but I was gonna have Lisa advertise that we move those credits from EMS into public safety lit. Or at least we have to have a public conversation around it first, correct, Lisa?
Yes.
There'd have to be a hearing on it?
Yeah.
Yes, I have an advertisement, and I have where the extra funds would go also attached, if you wanna see that. Wanna see that?
I guess I'm a little confused if we're putting 300 and some thousand a year to EMS, isn't that coming from those credits?
They are, but if we end up,
Yeah.
Offloading.
Yeah, if it changes, yeah.
then, because right now, if we have 1.4
Because
million.
that's what we're adding, is that what the funds build up to?
Yeah, it's
Oh, has it?
1.4 because,
Oh, okay.
remember, a year ago, we took all those credits away.
Yeah,
And we went ahead and put a chunk of them into EMS, thinking we may have to fund it permanently going forward, which that would be close to
Or
it.
that went to 911.
Yeah, another part went to
Yeah.
911.
Yeah.
Yep, so now we're looking, going, okay, do we really want the money to continue to go into that fund
Gotcha. 'Cause
and not
that's
be able to
the pool of
use it?
911
Exactly.
EMS together.
They're two separate funds, they're two separate
Yeah.
funds.
EMS is just EMS.
Yeah, EMS fund and
Okay.
911 fund, so they are. So I'm just saying, just taking the EMS credits.
Sure.
And moving them over to public safety lit where we have the ability to use them more. For example, we're gonna have to cut about 600,000 probably out of our budget we could have the sheriff's department again, take more of their salaries out of public safety lit, because it's getting a chunk more money into it. If we decide to do that, that's down the road, but it gives us more flexibility in how we use that money than just getting dumped into EMS where we're pretty locked down. So anyway, this is just to have the hearing, and then we can decide as a, council what we want to do later. But we're also up against a time crunch, because if you don't get this stuff done now, you miss out to change it for next year. Did I miss anything?
But
Two decisions, right? One is what to do with the credits going forward.
Correct.
The other is what to do with the pool of funds that are in the account.
Correct. Yep. The pool of funds that are in the account, were really limited, right?
yes,
So what, probably the vision of that, and we could talk about that when the time comes, but if the 1.4 million is in there, most of the entities that we're talking to want maybe a 4 or 5 year contract. Well, at the end of that, they go up and come, hey, your rate's gonna go up XYZ on us. We have to protect some of it because we either have to start it on our own or start paying something. We don't have a good pool of money, so I'm not worried about what's in there now. I'm just not sure adding a bunch more to it at $1 million some a year makes sense. So, but we'll all have a conversation on that when we do the public hearing. So
It'd
if everybody,
basically still be parked there at this point, right?
So the public view would be about the credits.
yes, we have to have a public,
Allowing us flexibility.
correct. We have to have the public meeting to have a hearing on that.
Because I thought back when we dedicated those credits to 911 and to EMS, we had to specifically say what it was, right?
No, we did,
in the
yes.
advertisement, if you
Yeah.
want to advertise it going into public safety, that's what I have to advertise for.
Were
I have to
those
advertise for
percentages or
a
those
dollar,
numbers?
yes.
Okay.
Correct. So yeah, she has to advertise for the public hearing that we're looking to move those credits from EMS to public safety lit.
Are we looking at doing the public hearing at our next meeting, or are we scheduling something special?
September, yes.
It would be at our September
next
meeting.
September meeting?
Yeah, we usually do it before briefly. We open it up for public hearing, we have some conversations, then we close that, then start our normal meeting.
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
So the EMS will go from 11.11 to 0, and public safety will go from 0.27 to 0.38,
That's what we want to advertise for.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to advertise for it.
yes.
And if you look, for example, it would generate, just so everybody knows,
Would you like a copy?
Yeah, I'd like to.
it would add an additional 525,000 to public safety for Wells County. Bluffton would get 418,000. City of Austin would get 54,000. Marco would get 25, just under 26,000. And then there's small, few others. Zanesville gets 3,700. So the others are pretty small.
Is that for the remainder of this year?
No, that'd
Or
be
is that
starting next year.
And that's how those lit shares would be distributed?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yep. So,
What was the Bluffton one? How much was that again? I'm sorry.
yeah, the Bluffton one's, Todd, 418,000.
Okay.
189. And I already spoke to Ossian about them then, because they don't contribute to 911, so I think that if we're gonna do this, we could get some of these entities to start contributing to some of these countywide public safety things that they don't now. So I haven't spoken to all the entities, but I think it would be worth a conversation that if we're gonna say, hey, we're gonna add this much more to public safety, here's some things that we may ask in return for doing it, that we're covering costs that they should be contributing to. Just an idea. I mean, we can decide as a body what we want to do there, but. So, yeah, so do I have a motion to approve having the public hearing?
I'll make.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Anything else for the greater good? If not, do I have a motion to end the meeting?
You do.
Do I have a second?